I am so late, it's crazy, and it looks nasty outside. Like, yo, I am so late because I was trying to upload and, well, I shouldn't say I'm so late. I still have like 9 minutes to get to work, and we know that it's probably gonna take me like around 10 minutes. So I might be a couple minutes late, but, and I'm pushing it right now by recording instead of driving. But at the same time, I'm letting you know that even in these instances, you cannot allow yourself to falter and just let your mindset bend because of just that couple minutes. You just got to stay on path, stay on point, and then just keep yourself. And you probably can't hear that. Maybe you can hear that, but my car's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, whoa, 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 what are you talking about? Like, really, you just have to stay on point and stay focused, knowing and ensuring that your mindset is going to stay elevated above the fact, like this is where your mindset wants to be. It's gonna be above the fact that it could be right here and just like sour, like, oh shit, I'm running behind, I gotta speed up, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Because once you do that, you have already succumbed to the mindset that could be there, even though you might be able to snap out of it, could still be there. Because if somebody hits you with that, oh, you're late, and you're like, boom, say something, I dare you, you've already just went down. So let's go ahead and run up, pull up, and be.
I just wanted to come to you tonight and close out my video. I didn't do a lot of recording today because I had a lot on my heart, a lot on my shoulders, a lot in general just going through my mind, and I really watched it be evident in my life today. And I'm gonna give you a couple examples of how that happened. Number one, while I was at work, it didn't impact me. I was just flying through my day, doing everything that I could do to like contribute to the store in general, right? Because I was midday, so you guys know how I act, or how I want to act when I'm midday. Well, I was successful with that. It was not until I got off of work that I realized that there is more to life than just fighting and not unifying, especially in parenting. And if you're not able to do that, I mean, that's fine, but at the end of the day, you gotta be able to suck it up and drop all the bullshit for your kid. And I can't say that one or the other person in my relationships is not doing that, because it's not gonna benefit anybody. It fucking sucks that I have to tell my mom that I feel like I can't talk about any of this stuff, and that sucks. I want to be able to open up to you guys and tell you how I feel, but I respect, at the end of the day, and it's so stupid that I do, but I respect my son's mother in a way that she probably will never be able to do. But I don't know how to blame somebody. I only know how to reflect, assess, and come back stronger the next time. And I think as a parent, that's a really good quality, because you're not going to be perfect. And I really want to make a point, but at the same time, I feel like making a point to the situation that I had at hand today is only falling into what it is that's happening. And I don't want to do that. I want to learn from every experience. And sometimes, and this is where it comes in, sometimes having the toughest conversations is something that you're gonna have to do as a leader. I had two scenarios today, two at work I should say, and one in my own life. The two at work were successful. The one at home blew up. I didn't stand a chance. The difference I felt like was that the very first two interactions that I had, where I had to have tough conversations with people, the respect that the associates have for me and the respect that I have for them is evident. So when I'm having those tough conversations with them, they understand that it's for the benefit of both of us, that they're on process, or that they're following procedures, that they're following policy, whatever it may be for you. As a leader, you're going to encounter situations like that. So those two conversations that I had were successful because the respect. And when I had those conversations with them, I explained what was happening, I explained how that was off process, and I explained how it could lead to a first and final, and it could lead to this, or it could lead to that. And every circumstance is going to be different, but I have to tell you that the toughest conversations are the ones that put people's livelihoods at risk, right? Their job. And it's really tough to have because you have to be able to exactly articulate what the observation was, and then you have to be able to help them understand how it could potentially lead to loss, and you got to break down the whys. And it is always important, remember I talked about the whys, it's important that you're able to do those things so that at the end of the conversation, the parties that are involved both feel in agreement and both feel like they have an understanding, a complete understanding of why it is important to focus on those things and keep them as a top priority in their everyday essentials, or their everyday activities, or in their closing activities, or in their opening procedures. It just really depends on the circumstance, right? But every company has these zero tolerance things. And today I tried to have a tough conversation with the co-parent, my son's mother, and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. I was trying to explain something, she became really defensive, and then it was just like, okay, I'm just trying to make a point, I'm just trying to get on the same page with you really quick so that you can understand, like, at the end of the day, like, tell me what I need to do on top of what I'm already doing so that we can both be successful. But I don't think that she's seen it that way. Maybe she felt like I was taking a jab at her. Maybe she felt like I was taking a shot at her and calling her out for something that she wasn't doing. But she immediately became defensive. And at that point, let's just say that we were talking about as a leader. At that point, I had to freeze and stop and think, how did I approach this situation? How did I say it? Did I come off as somebody who was trying to make a point? Or did I come off as somebody who was just trying to find common ground? And I feel like as a leader, and I'm gonna just cut the other shit out. You know what happened, you know I wasn't successful because of the other party and how it turned out. Didn't make me feel good after I drove away. As a matter of fact, it made me so sad to know that it didn't have an impact, that it was seen and turned into something else, that I literally broke down a little bit and I kind of shed tears over it, because I felt like at some point you have to just drop all of the bullshit, drop the act, drop whatever it is that you're feeling. But if you're not able to have those conversations, if you're not able to step back and say, okay, where did I go wrong? If you're not able to take the feedback and say, okay, you know what? Let me hear him out. Let's see what this is about. Let me figure out what I did. Let me see how I can make it better. When you're not able to do those things and the synergy is just not clicking, as a team member, as a leader, you have to be able to back up. And I shouldn't say react, but take control of the situation again and let them know, this is the point that I need to make. This is what I am trying to tell you, and this is what I need you to take away from it. At the end, whatever is said, whatever crap or whatever load, whatever it is, like, even if it just sounds like another excuse, even if it sounds like the blame game, which is what I got today, no matter what, as a leader, as a parent, you just need to be able to step up, make the point, walk away. Don't sit there and get into an argument. Don't go to the level that that other person is trying to get you to as a leader, as a parent. Going back to the main point of tonight's conversation, because it happened to me, remember, 3 times today, 2 times at work, 1 time in my own personal life at home. And as long as you're following all of the steps and procedures to really exemplify and train whatever the policy is, whatever the procedure is, as long as you're very, very articulate and very, very to the point, don't sugarcoat it, don't metaphor it, and have the understanding and have a softer approach and really grab that person's buy-in or get that person's buy-in to like having them understand is what we talked about, right? I feel like you could at the end of the day just say that that tough conversation was successful, because they're not always going to be easy. You might have an associate or an employee, or you might be in that conversation and you're hearing your manager and the first thing that you're thinking is like, nah, you know what, that was so and so and I'm about to tell them and yada yada yada. But you have to be able to, number one, be receptive to that feedback. If you're not receptive to the feedback, then at the end of the day you've gained nothing. And I know that sounds ridiculous, because a lot of times the first thing that you might want to do is be like, that wasn't me, I didn't do that shit, that was so and so. The blame game doesn't get you nowhere. As a parent, it doesn't get you nowhere. It just sets you further back from raising a child that deserves the best. As a leader, it doesn't get you anywhere, because all it shows is that you aren't able to take responsibility for actions that your team is making. So thinking about all of those things and just really relating it back to work, relating it back to my home, like today was some kind of day, and I'm really glad that I was able to just talk it out right now, because now I'm seeing that I don't think that I made a mistake by trying to have that tough conversation. So I hope you guys have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to let that off my chest and get it off my shoulder. I thank you guys so much for being there all the time. It's like, it's crazy how like we're up to 50 subscribers, and I mean, it's like having 50 friends that are right there to talk to at any time, and I really appreciate it. I'm so used to cussing, man. I remember like at one point in the vlogs where I was trying to cut the cussing out, and now it's like I just want to be as real as I can be with you guys, because I'm really proud of what we're doing, and it makes sense that so many people would subscribe and tune in, because so many people go through the same things that I go through, and I just want an outlet to be able to talk to people and not feel like it's going nowhere. Thank you so much, and I will be tuning in tomorrow. I will be back with another vlog. Have a good night, guys.